PCTechRadio will start in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Week?
Yeah, but it's been about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
No, it's been about a week actually.
Yeah. Now, guys, you may realise that our website is down for PC Tech Radio. There is a thing about that. We are revamping the website ourselves, so we've cancelled our hosting for that, and we are going to be relaunching PC Tech Radio's website along with the other side of the business, McGrath Computer Repairs and Upgrades. So at the moment, we've got a provisional Hotmail address for PC Tech Radio. It's pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk. Random F has his own one, and that is randomf@hotmail.co.uk.
And that was a paused
so I could sneeze.
Semi-sneeze, even though you didn't hear anything.
Yeah, we've got a couple of questions to kick off the show. And then we're going to go into the main topic of today, which is Sky Broadband and certain issues surrounding that you have. Now, as you may remember, myself and Random F covered a few questions last show, and one of the questions was about modems. Now, this question we've had is, my modem cuts off frequently. Is there any reason for this? Well, as we stated previous show, everything's switching over to digital, and dial-up doesn't really exist in the UK anymore, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
If it does, it's a very rare product, a very rare commodity. Now, there could be a call waiting issue on this if you're using a BT landline, so make sure that's disabled in the settings. So that's basically it. Here's one that Vishal might like though. Recently reinstalled my desktop, so reformat.
Yeah.
I can't get the pound sign to work, and other keys come up with the wrong symbols. Is there any reason behind this, or is there any way I can correct it?
Control panel, regional language settings.
Yeah, but if it's the actual keyboard, wouldn't it be the keyboard settings?
No.
And change it to UK?
No, it's regional and language settings.
Is it?
Yeah. You can go into keyboard settings, but I don't think you
can
make any changes.
Yeah, but
keyboard settings is only going to be...
You'll have US and UK. If you've selected US, make sure you've selected UK, and then go into language and regional settings.
No, language and regional settings is where everything changes, from using the metric system to everything. Because the American way is them doing everything, like for example kilometers an hour and everything. And all that crap. It's the same thing with the pound signs and everything, and the dollar signs and stuff, and the time zones.
Okay, so that's one way, and then I mean I hope that's answered that question.
Going into keyboard settings only does stuff like, for example, how quickly. Like
No. You know when you reinstall,
yeah,
and Windows pops up and says which keyboard are you using?
Yeah,
that's the one that I mean.
Yeah, that isn't in keyboard settings. That's regional language settings.
Oh, it's in there.
Yeah.
Oh right, that's a bit weird because that's That's keyboard, not regional settings.
No, it comes under regional settings.
That's weird. Okay, is that the same for all operating systems?
Should be, yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
either way, it should be in there. If it's not in there, go into keyboard settings. But I'm sure keyboard settings is only for stuff like, for example, if I hold like the L key down, and you know, like how quickly it
like
does all
shortcuts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Right. The next question we've got is from Mark in Gloucester. I'm trying to ghost an image onto my PC, but the process is taking ages. Is there any way to speed this up, or is this not easy to do?
Well, ghost images and stuff, I'm not really,
Well, I mean,
not really something that I do.
ghost images, from what I'm aware of, are things like if you want manufacturer settings, you know, like if you're
Yeah.
some PCs, I think it's more common on Dells and
Oh,
no,
Dells.
it's more common on Dell systems and HP. They use Symantec Ghost.
Yeah, Symantec do the ghost.
And basically, the reformat process is all done through Ghost. Now, it will take, depending on how much information and whether, as far as I know, when I had a HP system, it basically, I mean, I had a HP system a long time ago. It basically backed up an image file every month, and so any games that I'd installed, any software that I'd installed, it all depends on how much you've saved. As far as I'm aware, I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of like imagine your hard disk is like a terabyte, but you've only been using about 50 megs or 100 megs or something altogether on your, it's like 100 gigs or
Yeah.
altogether on there. It's gonna kind of like, I don't know, it will kind of it will like save like 100 gigs or like 50 gigs worth of stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll end up saving the majority of the important files and stuff.
Exactly. So that's probably why it's taking such a long time.
In order, as you said, to speed up the process of it, get a quicker processor, get more RAM. But then again,
it's probably inherent with Symantec Ghost,
yeah,
and it probably has to take that amount of time, because if it misses,
yeah,
the thing that I was going to say, if it misses, say a tiny section
of like the C drive
of
of Windows,
it's knackered, completely knackered.
And the other thing I was going to say as well, the only other way I could possibly think of making the process quicker is actually not having any programs open and leaving it, like doing the Ghost program before you go to bed, basically, and just go to bed and leave your laptop on overnight.
Or desktop, or whatever it is. I mean, at the end of the day, just be aware that what I class as third-party software, doing any recovery on your desktop or laptop will be slow.
And about the processor, okay, I don't recommend this, and I don't know anything about it, and I would never bother to do anything about it. But all the new iCore processors, overclocking.
Never overclock them.
Do not overclock. Yeah. Unless you really know what you're doing, don't overclock them.
Right. The next question we've got before we go into a song break is, bear with me. Can I disable my onboard graphics on my desktop so I can put a PCI Express graphics card in my system? Well, the answer to that is yes. You can disable it through the BIOS, but only attempt that if you know what you're doing, basically. Only attempt it in that regard. So just be very, very, very careful in if you mess with anything in the BIOS, like we've said on previous shows.
Yep. That's a red.
That's a red. You know,
unless you really know what you're doing, don't touch it.
Don't touch it whatsoever.
Because I'm not being funny, but even I don't touch BIOS settings.
David
knows how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do everything in the BIOS.
You know most stuff.
Yeah, but the only thing that I've ever done in the BIOS is changing the boot settings. That's it. I wouldn't touch anything else. I leave that running on default. I just don't touch it. For the simple fact is, I know that if you hit the wrong key or touch the wrong thing,
like what happened to that guy last time when he updated his BIOS?
Oh, it froze him out.
No. What happened inside the computer?
Oh,
go on, explain the story.
Right. Basically,
this is funny.
We had an email. Guy had built his own desktop. He decided to flash the BIOS. Now, as Random F said, you can flash your BIOS, but unless you know what you're doing, don't attempt it. He flashed it with the wrong BIOS update, and it fried his hard drive. And
we don't mean it fried it as in like it stopped working. We mean he literally deep fried it.
Yeah, it stopped working completely.
No.
And it fried the motherboard as well.
We mean that in a literal way, as in if you stuck a motherboard inside a wok and you put the actual gas on.
Yeah, but the thing is,
actually fried
this is what happens if you put the wrong BIOS update on your computer. It can fry your motherboard. Now, to get back to the onboard graphics question, it can be disabled in the BIOS. It's normally under the, I believe, depending on what motherboard you're running, it's normally under the integrated peripherals section.
Yeah.
And it'll just say onboard graphics, and it'll say enabled or disabled. If you're going to disable it, then make sure you've put your PCI Express graphics card in first, because otherwise you won't have graphics. But all I'm going to say is that is all I recommend that you do. But if you're not confident in doing that, then don't even attempt it, please, because for the novices out there, we're classing this as red. For the intermediate guys, you obviously know that you can do that.
Yeah. For the intermediate people, if you're still not sure, email us and ask us.
Yeah.
And we'll give you guidelines on what to do. If
Yeah,
you know what you're doing and you're comfortable with it, fine.
Email
For the pros, you know exactly what you're doing.
Email us at pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk. This is our temporary email address.
And for the clever people who already know what they're doing, you already know what you're doing, so
Yeah.
you didn't worry about it.
So
You're on your own on that one. If you screw up, you screw up.
Yeah, plain and simple. So guys, we're going to go into a song break, then we're going to come to one of the horrible things.
Oh no, here we go.
It's Sky Broadband. Yes, we're back to them again.
Yep, and believe me, we're not doing a PC World on them. Believe me.
Oh no. This is going to be all about Sky Broadband and how lovely they are.
Yeah. like My Lovely Workplace and like Dell and Internet Explorer.
Okay, guys, this is a classic. Oh, before we go into this song, the song that we played at the opening track is "Freak the Freak Out," and that was Victoria Justice featuring the cast from Victorious, her new TV show, which airs on Nickelodeon here in the UK.
And for the people who may think that they know or they don't know, she starred in, was it Zoe 1-on-1 USA?
Zoe 101 with Jamie Lynn Spears. That was her big break, I think. I saw an interview with her on Regis and Kelly, and she said that was her big break, which was Zoe 101. She did 52 episodes of that.
Yeah.
Then I think she did 2 Nickelodeon movies. One with Brooke Shields and one with that Tamara, what's her face, who played Sierra out of Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
called Spectacular, which is a good movie actually. It's quite funny. But she plays a bad guy in that. So if you like Victoria Justice in the goody two shoe roles, then it's not one for you. But Victorious is a very funny TV series, well recommended, and it is quite funny. Plus, as she said in her interview, she gets to sing, dance, and do all sorts of stuff. So check it out on Nickelodeon. That's here in the UK and in the United States, I believe. But the United States are, I think, 2 episodes ahead or 1 episode ahead each time. So it's the same with any other TV show.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go into this classic R. Kelly track.
And this is R. Kelly and his Ignition remix.
Okay, guys, hope you like it. Obviously, we're going to cover Sky. We've been asked to do... Don't press enter on that. I'll show you that in a bit, Rish. It's alright. Yesterday I purchased Command & Conquer Tiberium Wars 4, which myself and Random F discussed, where we said it looked like Dawn of War, but I'm actually hooked on it. I can't stop playing it. I played it halfway through the GDI missions, and I'm halfway through the Nod missions right now. So, you still play the same character, you're the commander. Obviously, you can make your choices, but obviously it continues straight from the last game where you saved Kane in the last mission, but you were basically half dead, and all you saw on the cutscenes was... you being wheeled into surgery. So it's quite an intense game.
I just loved Command & Conquer Red Alert.
But this one, dude, when I show you, you're gonna want it, and I am not kidding you. I swear down now, you are gonna want it.
Damn you!
Seriously, because I showed you Dawn of War 2, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well. This is Command & Conquer looking like Dawn of War. But that may put some people off. And I know it has, because I've been on some of the forums and some people have said they don't like the gameplay. But guys, to me, this is crazy. I know we're going off on a tangent again, but, you know. Okay. Sky Broadband. Now, we're going to go into the problems that me and Vishal have had in the past and present, and then we'll get into it, and we'll see if we can help some people out. Now, we've had issues with connection. We've had issues with the routers overheating. We've had issues with...
Mine's is mainly connection problems.
You know... And mine is, I mean, mine gave up yesterday. I haven't been after I spoke to my dad on Facebook yesterday, my internet connection just went kaput. The router decided to switch itself off. And that wasn't the first time, that was the second time it had done that. Because when I was speaking to Random F on MSN voice call, it basically just switched itself off. So, you know, I mean, we have had a few questions regarding Sky. One of the ones is there any news that you guys have heard if Sky are going to be fibre optic in the future? Well, I believe they're going to. All the reports say they're going to, because they need to compete with Virgin.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice.
You've got, and there's a good bit of news as well. This was reported to us via the Gloucester Studio and Random F. On the Radio 1 website, it has been reported about the broadband providers having to advertise realistic download speeds. Now, by realistic... we mean, what do we mean, Bish?
realistic download speeds is, let me give you an example. Imagine like Sky turned around and say you can download up to 4 meg a second, but ideally if you went to say download.com and you went to download something, you would not get 4 meg.
Yeah.
You would be lucky to get a meg a second.
But if it was 4 meg, right?
Yep.
If Sky have said they're going to give you 4 meg,
Yep.
and that's what you expect.
Yeah, that's what I would expect. Yeah.
Now, if you find out realistically you're getting 2 meg, you can cancel your contract with no further cost to yourself.
Yeah.
Because
so you don't have to pay the contract off or anything like that. Like, for example, if you had a mobile phone contract and you decided to cancel it, you would have to pay your contract off.
Yeah, but with this new regulation set by, I think it's Ofcom
and trading standards.
They have to advertise realistic download speeds to their customers. So I think Sky is 20 megs per second.
Yeah.
So
which
give or take a couple of meg, it has to come close, but they don't. The only
nowhere near.
The only internet service provider that comes anywhere close is Virgin.
Yep.
And that is only by a couple of megs.
That's due to them being fibre optic.
Yeah. Now,
a key thing that quite a lot of people may not know, for example, do you know they say that you've got 20 meg broadband? The difference between fibre optic and telephone line is 4 times.
Yeah.
So if you've got 20 meg, ideally you've actually got 5 meg fibre optic.
Yeah.
That is in reality what you have. If you've got 16, that means you've got 4. So, you know, people say, oh, I've got 16 meg internet. My internet's meant to be really, really quick. Well, compared to fibre optic, you've only got 4 meg.
Yeah.
So when someone on Virgin's got 10 meg...
Well, I'll give you an example. Random F has the 50 meg broadband from Virgin.
Yeah.
He uploaded a 89 meg file. That may not sound big.
Yeah.
But it done it in a minute.
For upload speeds, that is ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
That is ridiculously fast. I don't think most people would download the 81.
I'm sure it was about a minute to a minute and a half.
I'm sure that most people wouldn't even be able to download the 89 meg file in a minute.
Well,
let alone upload it.
I'll give you an example. When I was uploading the revamp of Show 32,
yeah,
because I had to get Random F to do the revamp of it to boost up the audio.
Okay.
Of when we were talking, it took me half an hour to upload it.
How big was it?
It was a 1 hour 24 minute file, but I think it was around the region of
60, 70 megs.
No, 89 meg.
90 megs. 30 minutes for 90 megs.
Which is realistic
not
from
bad.
Sky.
Not bad.
But, you know, I'm sure, obviously, Random F had to split these files into 50 meg files. Yeah, and I got all 3.
Yeah.
Right? But it took him a minute and a half to upload all 3.
That's the difference, you see.
That's the difference with fibre optic. Now, all the reports on the internet are saying that Skype are transitioning over to fibre optic, but it doesn't give a necessary date.
Yep. But from what I've heard, even though they're going over to fibre optic, since they're going to move over, what do you think is going to happen?
Go on.
Prices are going up.
Oh yeah.
Prices are going up.
The fibre optic will be a secondary.
Did you hear about O2?
Don't tell me O2 have started in the running.
O2 have already done it. They're doing it now. Some places are going up 30 quid. Not 30 quid a month, 30 quid in a year. So you're talking. You're talking like 250 extra.
That ain't too bad.
250 extra a month, but 250 a month.
Yeah.
It's gonna add up.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, I hope we've covered that on the Sky Fibre Optic from that question. The other question is, I'm concerned that my router is overheating.
Yeah.
Now, we dealt with this last show, didn't we?
Yeah.
That we did on Sky.
Unfortunately.
Because we both had the same problem.
Yep.
Now, you can get a brand new Netgear router. Obviously, the Netgear routers that Sky provide are the bog standard rubbish ones. That Netgear just pass on to Sky to say, look, give these to your customers. They're the basic wireless routers. The ones that I would recommend that you buy to replace
Like the one I've got.
the max range.
Yep.
Because they are sick. But
The only issue is...
it's the same thing. It does overheat, but that is because the router is constantly on.
No. I was thinking about actually setting the router up. What's the issue with that?
Oh yes. Oh, I do apologise. That you have to contact Sky and get the connection details for their server. You literally have to ring them up and say, I've bought a new router. It's a Netgear one, which is compatible with their system.
Yep.
You don't have to tell them it's max range, whatever. You just have to say, I've bought a new modem because my old modem fried. But they're more than likely, they might charge you for a small fee for the access codes and stuff.
Well, from what I remember last time, Sky wouldn't even give you the information to move over and change your router.
Well, they did it for you though, didn't they?
I haven't changed it. They just sent me another router. It's the same one. I haven't put the new one in. Remember, because we've got to change all the codes and everything. We still haven't done that yet because we know that Sky aren't going to give us that information
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the access codes.
It's true.
The only way to really do it is if you know how to. I don't know which other way to put this. I don't actually mean this in electrical terms, but to hack your way.
No, you can't. You can hack a router, but there's no point. There is no point. There is a way to do it. I think Sky have now come to terms with. People, they're not going to want to hassle of waiting for a new router, especially if you're running a business from home.
Yeah. Because the good thing is for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring up. I might actually do it soon. I'm going to ring up and I'm going to say to them that your router's pathetic. It's rubbish. It doesn't work. It keeps screwing up on me. I've bought a new router. I need the access codes. And
Or I need the codes to actually set the router up.
yeah. And if they...
Because what I think you need to do, like I said to you, you need to dial into the router using the IP address.
No, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them to help me set it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to threaten them, ring them on the phone. I'm actually going to threaten them and say to them that if they say, no, we're not going to give you the access codes, be like, all right, fine. I've got a rolling contract right now. I'm going to cancel my contract at the end of this month. I'm going to move over. I don't want to be with you guys anymore.
Yeah. But the way to do it is, I think the way you set it up for your broadband provider, get my words out,
Grandad.
is you access the router via the router's IP address, which can be found in the documentation. And what you need to do is, on the router that you've got connected to your broadband provider at the moment, you've got the IP addresses.
Okay.
And the DNS server addresses. Note each number down.
Yeah.
When you've dialed into the router, you can actually manually set these things, and that is another way of switching it over. But obviously, you need to know your username and password for Sky, because it also asks you to input them as well.
Yeah, which is already there anyway. I've already.
But Sky should talk you through that for nothing. It's one of those things. But we have had a couple of questions about overheating. The router's overheating. They feel like they're boiling hot.
Simple things. Keep it in a well ventilated place. Keep it away from a radiator or a warm room.
Yeah, exactly, because it will get hot. Because it's constantly on. You're not going to switch your router off because you're going to need internet access no matter what. You know, so
I mean, you can switch them off if you wish, like i.e. if you go to bed or something like that. But I still wouldn't advise you because there are updates that the routers do.
And basically when you switch it back on, it resets the entire router, and some of the updates won't take, and that's how the routers mess up. Now, one question that I've been given here is, when I originally signed with Sky Broadband, I had a Sky Broadband disc.
Okay.
You know, like when you sign up with Virgin, you get the Virgin disc for the Virgin icon on your desktop and all that.
Yeah,
to
all
access
that stuff. Yeah.
Do I have to use this disc to access the internet? The answer is no. Once you set up your router and hook it in, all you would need is the network key and the network, the SSID off the back of your router. Now, the network key is your password, and the SSID is the name of the router, basically. You put those in, you click connect, and it automatically connects, and you can use Internet Explorer 8. And
or Firefox or Chrome.
Or what we recommend is Firefox. I haven't really used Chrome yet, so I'm in two minds.
I was using that. I'm using that now, innit?
What do you think of it?
It's alright. It's not as quick. It's quick at loading up and everything, but download speeds and everything is pathetic on it. Because remember I told you I was downloading some of that stuff? And when I downloaded it on Firefox, I was getting 200, 250, 300 kilobits a second. Yeah. But when I was downloading it on Chrome, I was getting a constant 125 kilobits whole way through. So a lot less than what Firefox are giving me. And I haven't done anything on Firefox that's made it quicker. I haven't put like download accelerators or anything in. It's just downloading straight. Right.
But you know, it's everybody to their own. If you like using Internet Explorer, I don't. I hate it. I've actually removed it completely off my laptop. Well, I've tried to. There's still remnants of it on my lappy. But I don't like using it whatsoever. I hate it. I can't stand it. If I would, well, let's put it in an analogy that people can understand. If it was on fire, I wouldn't pee on it.
Yeah.
Basically. I've stuck with Firefox for many years now, and
yep, same here.
You know, I'm still going to stick with it. Yeah, number 4 has got a few bugs, but give it another couple of months and it'll be...
Remember, that's a beta version at the moment.
Yeah.
Not the actual...
And plus, they get the thing that I like about Mozilla is they listen to people when
you go on the forums and you write a review or something, and they actually read your reviews.
Yeah, and they actually, when you get a crash on Firefox, they actually
ask you to send the crash report.
Yeah, and when they get the crash report, they then deal with the issue and done. You know, so it's one of those. Okay, we're going to go into another song break, and we're going to come back more about Sky Broadband and a few issues. This is another song from Victorious. This is Victoria Justice song. This is from the pilot episode. Hope you guys like it. Sky Broadband. Obviously, I use it here in the studio, which works quite well, but I have had some major issues with it. I mean, Vish, have you known anybody else who's had any problems with Sky Broadband?
Quite a lot of people.
I mean, what were some of the problems and issues that they were having?
Most people is connection problems.
Just bare bog standard connection problems.
Yep, keeps disconnecting on him, keeps reconnecting by itself, disconnects by itself, and just decides not to work.
Yeah. So, guys, just remember, you know, Sky are one of the
very, very rubbish, basically. Very, 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 very rubbish. I am really considering moving over.
I would, but you know, my mum owns the. It's my mum's Sky, so.
Oh, bit off topic. David, what did you think of that?
Oh, the system requirements.
Yeah.
All I can say is, damn. It's okay. We're discussing on how to play the new Medal of Honor Tier 1 on PC, and the minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Right,
this isn't even recommended system requirements. This is the minimum.
Right. I'll actually read this out to you now. Right. It says you need an Intel Core 2 Duo running at 2.68 gigs. Right. That's a minimum. If you've got an AMD processor,
It's the Phenom, isn't it? Phenom 2.
Phenom 2 X2550, that's a minimum.
Do you know your motherboard can support that?
Probably could.
No, the Phenom it can, because it
Yeah.
can support any 775 pin processor, AMD and Intel.
Nice. The GeForce 9800 GT graphics card, that's a minimum.
You haven't got that.
No.
But the studio computer has.
Or the ATI graphics card, Radeon HD 3870.
I would go with ATI, to be honest. I wouldn't go. I would go with ATI due to the fact that they can deal with more graphic intensive games. The Nvidias, I've sort of gone away from them nowadays.
4 gig RAM. Now, I don't mean 4 gig DDR2, I mean 4 gig DDR3. That is what I would say.
That's
Minimum.
That's. What about the hard drive space?
Right, it says you need 10 gigs.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shocker. So if you've got a 10 gig hard drive, no point buying the game.
Yeah. But ideally, that's minimum. But if you're looking to play the game, you're looking to play many missions, and you're looking to have all the add-ons and extra missions and stuff.
Yeah, and they
all the
add
updates. They will add easily another 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 gigs.
Yeah,
Easily.
because there's a lot of mission updates, a lot of new maps and things. Now, you know, now we've gone off on that. We are setting up the PCTechRadio Youth Association. Just to go off topic here a bit. That already has a group on Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, we need to give a shout out to the new members on the Facebook group, Vish.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us.
We're up to 139 members on the Facebook group, and on Twitter we're going to give them a shout out. We're going to take a very, very long break now. We're going to play 2 songs, one after the other. This next track is Visual.
And this next track is... I've played the remix, I haven't played the original to this. This is the original version. This is Fat Joe featuring Lil Wayne, and it's called Make It Rain.
Yeah, I'm going to put Visual out of his misery. I'm going to show him this thing on Command & Conquer 4. So that's why we're going to play these 2 songs back to back. And the second song is a Demi Lovato track. So hope you guys enjoy these.
Fat Joe and Lil Wayne.
Yeah. So we're talking about Sky Broadband. I mean, we've delved into this in previous shows. I mean, that's all we can really cover on that, really, isn't it? I mean, it's just connection issues. I mean, if there's any serious problems, let us know and we'll try and deal with it. The email address has changed. Again, our email address is pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk. Now, we did mention earlier on in the show that we are setting up the PC Tech Radio Youth Association, and they have a Facebook group. Now, this will be set up in Birmingham area to begin with.
Yeah.
Now, we will be setting this up in relation to bringing communities together through the medium of sport. So we're going to have badminton, football, golf, table tennis. If you want to be a member, send us an email to pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk and we'll send you a membership form. This is basically a yearly membership.
Yep.
£10 a year.
Yeah.
So once you pay that £10, you're a member, and then once everything is set up here in Birmingham, we will be going to various areas. We'll be going to Gloucester, and Birmingham are the main areas at the moment.
Yep.
But
we'll soon start going to other areas. We'll probably try going London,
yeah,
Leicester,
basically,
Nottingham.
we're gonna have.
Hey, I want to try Loughborough.
There's some wicked sports teams there, you know.
Loughborough Uni's probably got some of the best sports teams in most sports.
Now, the way we're doing it is there's going to be junior team, senior teams. So anyone over the age of 18, that's senior team.
Yep.
So the maximum age range that we can have people applying is 31, I would say.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'm 30. So basically,
I want to get you to play badminton. I'm gonna
whip your ass, man.
I'm gonna taxi you, put you in one corner, put the shuttle in the other corner.
Trust me, I'll just dive across the court.
Well, no matter how much you dive, actually, don't dive. I don't want to experience another earthquake in Birmingham.
Hey, I'm not that fat. But yeah, we're gonna have 2 in each club. Well, in each area where the association is going to be, there'll be 3 badminton teams, maybe a few more, football teams. We need to get enough members as possible. It's £10 a year, which isn't bad. And
table tennis, and got my mate plays county level /
yeah.
national
So
level.
basically, what we'll do once everything is registered and set up, we're gonna get together with some sports clubs in the local areas, in Gloucester, in Birmingham, and we're going to set up some proper teams, some proper matches, and we'll enter in proper games as well. So,
Well, that reminds me as well. Every year when I go to that, I told you I have that big tournament.
Yeah.
Every year when I go to that tournament, I see young kids that are all under the age of 16, 17, and it's actually an entire group, a club.
Yeah.
And they've got a load of kids. I'm talking kids from 11, 12 that are playing county level.
Yeah. So, we're going to try and bring communities together.
So if
through the medium of sport.
Yeah, if I see them, I'll pass on the details to them.
Yeah,
I'll get them to come in contact.
And basically, guys, at the minute we're in the process of setting everything up. It's £10 per year, which will be used by the association to buy equipment, uniforms, and so on and so forth. If we get enough members, we're hoping to obtain funding and go from there. We've opened it up to no matter what. Obviously reasonable age from 6 onwards.
Yep.
Obviously, parents have to. If you're 6 and you listen to us, hi. But your parents have to go with you. Anyone below the age of, I would say 18, have to have a parent accompanying them.
No, what I would say is anyone under the age of 12 should have a parent accompanying them.
Okay.
Anyone aged from 12 to 16 should have
written permission
slips. So we'll actually get the parents to sign written permission slips.
Yeah. So
anyone 16 and over, you're then old enough. You're an adult technically.
So basically, guys, what we're going to be doing is, as soon as we launch the Youth Association, the Facebook group is already there.
Yep.
Our website is being revamped and redone completely, so we've lost our official email addresses for the time being, which is why we've set the temporary one, which is pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk, and we will go from there. We want to do as many things as possible with PCTechRadio, which is why we're bringing so many things out at once. But the Youth Association will be a registered charity, so this is going to take some good planning and some good organisation.
And quite a lot of time.
To put together. So, but if you are interested, just send us an email to pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk. We will put your name on file so that when everything's ready, we can then send you out the information that you need. Other than that, shout outs to people on the Twitter group.
Actually, it's gone up. Remember last time I said we had about 200 people?
Yeah.
Almost 300 now.
Nice. Not bad at all.
Thank you to everyone joining us.
Yeah.
Make sure all your friends join us as well.
Yeah, and if you like what we do, just send us your questions, your emails to pc.tech.radio@hotmail.co.uk. Once the website is back up and running,
You're on our Facebook group, right on our wall. If you individually actually know us,
yeah,
message us, ring us, text us, whatever.
and let us know.
Let us know.
And then we'll go from there. Okay, guys, we're going to sign off now. And this is... Vishal has the closing track today. So, Vishal?
And this is a classic which I'm sure quite a lot of hip-hop and rap fans will definitely know about. This is Nas featuring P. Diddy, and this is Hate Me Now.